God says, I will leave you if you don't watch this now. You will be hospitalized in the next 2 days. You will receive huge money into your bank account if you listen now. But if you skip this, you won't receive the money. Open this immediately before tonight 11:59 p.m. Don't skip. There are moments in life when everything feels too loud, too heavy, and too overwhelming to carry alone, and in those very moments, His voice becomes the soft whisper that wraps around your heart and reminds you that you are not alone, you were never alone, and you will never be left to face this world without Him walking beside you every step of the way. Type Amen if you believe. Sometimes, when your body is tired and your spirit feels weary, when your thoughts are too tangled to pray and your eyes too tired to cry, it is still okay to rest in His presence because God understands every sigh, every tear, every silent cry for help. He watches over you when no one else does, and His love never withdraws from you, even when you feel unworthy of it. God sees what the world cannot see. He knows your heart, your battles, the things you never say aloud. He knows what it took for you to get out of bed this morning, the invisible strength it took to show up, and the quiet hope you still carry inside you. And because He sees it all, He also makes a way through it all. There's no pain too deep, no shame too heavy, no darkness too thick that His light cannot reach and His love cannot redeem. Your journey might have wounds, but those wounds are not signs of defeat. They are signs that you're still here, still standing, still walking through the storm with your faith in hand, even if your faith feels like a flicker some days. And that flicker, no matter how small, is still enough for God to move mountains in your life. He does not need your perfection. He simply asks for your heart. Type 1111 if you trust in God. God is not just waiting for you at the end of the road with blessings. He walks beside you on every step, even when the path is rough, even when you stumble, even when your trust wavers. He is the Father who lifts you up, not the one who pushes you away. He holds no grudges against you. He wants you close, not perfect. He wants your honesty, not your performance. When you feel the weight of your mistakes pressing against your chest and shame whispering lies into your mind, remember this truth: Jesus did not come for the flawless. He came for the broken, the lost, the weary, and the ashamed. He came for you, not to punish you, but to restore you. Not to condemn, but to comfort and renew what the world and pain tried to destroy. You are not defined by your failures. You are not forgotten. God is not done with your story. He is only getting started. Even in your lowest point, He is still preparing your highest breakthrough. Even when nothing makes sense, He is still working behind the scenes in ways that will leave you in awe. If only you knew how much He has already protected you from, how many battles He fought on your behalf while you were unaware, you would cry not out of fear, but gratitude. If only you knew the miracles He has stored for you, you would smile in the middle of your storm, because you'd know that the end is already victory. Your blessings are not tied to your performance. They are tied to your position as a child of God. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can remove you from His love, not your past, not your failures, not even your doubts. There will be days when you feel like giving up. Days when prayers feel unanswered and time feels like an enemy. But it is in those very days that God draws closer, not further. He walks with you in the silence. He sits with you in the waiting. He holds you in the grief. He knows how to carry you when you can't carry yourself. Never think He has turned His face away from you. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And if He promised you peace, healing, restoration, or joy, then hold on, because it will come. God does not lie. His timing is never off. You may not know how, and you may not know when, but you can trust that the one who holds your future already wrote the ending with love in His hands. Your breakthrough will not be late. It will arrive right when your soul needs it most, right when your faith can embrace it fully. And when it comes, it will be clear that it was never luck, never coincidence, never something you earned, it was always God. His mercy. His favor. His open hand stretched toward you, not because you deserved it, but because He loved you too much to leave you where you were. He sees the storm around you, but He's already calmed the one within you. He knows what they said about you, but He still calls you His. He knows what you've been through, and still says you are worthy of a beautiful future. Type 222 to claim peace. He knows how hard you've tried, how many times you've smiled through the tears, how often you've held on when everything inside you was breaking. He knows the nights you laid awake wondering how you would face tomorrow, and the mornings when getting out of bed took everything you had. And still, He never stopped loving you, never stopped watching over you, never stopped believing in the purpose He placed inside your soul. God does not measure your worth by how strong you appear to others. He looks at your heart, the unseen part of you that keeps showing up, keeps praying, keeps hoping, even when the storms haven't passed. You don't have to prove yourself to Him. You only need to rest in His promise that He is working in ways you cannot yet see, moving pieces together for your good, even in the silence. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment has not been a rejection from God, but a redirection towards something greater, something you would never have seen if everything had gone according to your plan. His timing is never rushed, because what He's preparing for you is sacred, and He won't allow you to settle for anything less than what He designed specifically for your heart and your future. When you feel like everything is falling apart, remind yourself that some things must fall apart so God can build something stronger in their place. Some relationships are removed to protect you, some jobs are lost to lead you to your calling, and some seasons are hard to teach you how to rely on grace and not your own strength. Type 555 if you trust Jesus. God doesn't always change the situation right away, but He will always change your heart to withstand it. He gives peace in the waiting, strength in the weakness, and joy in the sorrow. He lifts your chin when your head hangs low and places His hand gently over your soul to calm the storm within you, even when the storm outside still rages. There are blessings ahead of you that you didn't even pray for, but God saw your pain, your faithfulness, your quiet endurance, and He wrote those blessings into your story long before you knew you would need them. The doors that will open for you, the favor that will chase you down, the healing that will restore you, none of it is random. It's all part of His promise to take care of those who trust Him even when they don't understand Him. You are never waiting in vain when you wait on God. You are waiting for something that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and minds can't imagine. What He's doing in your life will not only answer your prayers but will also bring healing to others, because your testimony will carry the light that someone else desperately needs. There's a reason you've made it this far. There's a reason your heart still longs for more. God placed eternity in your spirit and filled you with a purpose that cannot be buried by fear, shame, or struggle. You are not just trying to survive life. You were born to walk with power, with grace, and with a love that can only come from Him. Every time you felt like giving up but didn't, heaven noticed. Every time you chose love instead of anger, forgiveness instead of revenge, or hope instead of despair, it echoed into eternity. Your small acts of faith matter more than you know. They are seeds being planted into the soil of God's promises, and they will bloom in His perfect timing. Even now, angels are being assigned to surround you. Even now, chains are being broken that you cannot see, and even now, healing is flowing through your heart like quiet waters, bringing peace to places you didn't know were still wounded. You don't have to carry everything anymore. You can let go and fall into the hands that never drop what they hold. God is not watching you with judgment. He watches you with compassion. He doesn't love a future version of you. He loves you right now, in this exact moment, even if you're struggling, even if you feel distant, even if you've made mistakes. His love is not earned, it is given freely, and it never runs out. Don't believe the lie that it's too late for you. Don't let shame convince you that you've missed your chance. God is not limited by time or failures. He creates beauty from ashes and brings life to what looks dead. He can do in one moment what would take you years to fix on your own. Let your heart rest in the truth that you are already chosen, already seen, already loved. You don't need to do anything to be enough in His eyes. You already are. Hold on, not because you see the way, but because you trust the one who is the way. He is still the miracle worker. He is still the healer. He is still the provider. And He is still writing a story for you that ends in light, not darkness. You may not feel strong right now, but the one who holds you never grows weary. You may not feel ready, but the one who called you will equip you. You may not know the next step, but the one who goes before you already cleared the path. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There are seasons when life feels like a long road with no end in sight, where each step forward feels heavier than the last, and everything in you wants to stop trying. But it's in those very moments, when your soul is stretched thin and your strength feels gone, that God begins to do something deep within you. He begins to turn your cracks into windows for His light to shine through. You may feel invisible sometimes, like your prayers vanish into the air and your efforts go unnoticed. But God sees everything. He sees you when you wake up with a heart still aching. He sees you when you help others while secretly needing help yourself. He sees the way you keep loving, forgiving, and hoping, even when it would be easier to shut down. He is not blind to your pain, and He is never deaf to your cries. The things that break your heart also move His. And no matter how lost you feel, He never loses sight of you. Not for a moment. You are engraved in His hands, woven into his plans, and held close to his heart. A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now and step into abundance today. There is a timing in God's plan that may not match what you hoped for, but it is always exactly what your life needs. He will never let you walk into something that will harm the future He's preparing for you. Sometimes, He closes doors you were ready to walk through because He sees what's on the other side. Sometimes, He pauses your progress not to hurt you, but to protect you, to strengthen you, and to grow something in you that will sustain you later. Type yes to affirm. You are being shaped in the waiting, in the stillness, in the spaces where nothing seems to be changing. Those places are not empty. They are sacred. That's where God draws closest, whispers the loudest, and holds you the tightest. That's where He teaches you to trust Him, not because of what you see, but because of who He is. Every answered prayer you're waiting for is already in motion. What feels delayed is not denied. What feels like silence is often preparation. Just because you don't see it, doesn't mean He isn't working. Just because you feel alone, doesn't mean He left. He never walks away, not even when you do. When your heart feels overwhelmed, He becomes your shelter. When your strength runs out, He becomes your refuge. And when you're tired of carrying it all, He gently reminds you that you don't have to. He didn't create you to live in fear, in guilt, or in sorrow. He created you to live in peace, in love, and in purpose. Every scar, every bruise, every tear has meaning in the hands of God. He doesn't waste anything. What the world used to try and break you, God will use to build something more beautiful than you ever imagined. Your past is not your prison, it's the soil He uses to grow your testimony. There's a reason you haven't given up. Deep down, your spirit knows that God is not finished with you. It knows that something better is coming, something brighter, something you can't yet see, but your faith is already reaching for. And that hope, that soft, quiet hope you still hold on to, is enough. It's more than enough. Do not be afraid to dream again. Don't let the disappointment of yesterday steal the joy of what God can do tomorrow. Don't let what didn't happen make you believe that nothing good ever will. You are still here, which means God is still writing. You are still breathing, which means your purpose is still alive. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to stay close to the one who already has it figured out. God knows the way. He knows what you need. He knows how to bring it to you when the time is right. And He knows how to heal what you've been pretending doesn't hurt. You are never too far gone, never too broken, never too late for God's grace to reach you. He specializes in starting over. He delights in restoration. He takes the shattered pieces and creates masterpieces from what others would throw away. You are not forgotten. You are loved by the Creator of heaven and earth, and He will never give up on you. Every time your heart has whispered, "God, please help me," He has listened. Every time you've asked for strength to face another day, He has given it to you, even in ways you didn't notice. Every time you've needed comfort, He sent it, sometimes through a word, a song, a person, or a still moment where you felt just a little bit lighter. That's God. Quiet, faithful, and constant. Always reaching for your hand, always whispering, "I'm still here." So keep going, not because it's easy, but because He's with you. Keep believing, not because you see the answer, but because He promised He'd never leave you without one. Keep walking, even if it's slow, because every step forward in faith is a step closer to what He's already prepared for you. Let the world say what it wants. Let fear knock at your door. Let doubt try to cloud your thoughts. But in your spirit, let this truth rise louder than it all: God is for you. He is with you. And He is not done yet. You are going to see beauty rise from brokenness. You are going to smile again, laugh again, breathe deeply again. The tears you've cried will not be wasted. The years you lost will not remain empty. The joy that's coming will be greater than the pain that tried to destroy you. He sees the moments that no one else does, the quiet ones when you sit in stillness, holding your breath, hoping for something to change. He sees the tears that fall when you think no one is watching. He knows the battles you never speak of. And more than anything, He knows the strength it takes to walk forward every day with a heart that's still healing. You are not weak because you feel pain. You are not broken beyond repair. The very fact that you still love, still pray, still hope, even after all you've been through, is proof that God's light still burns inside of you. And that light, no matter how faint it seems, is enough for Him to guide you towards something greater than you've ever known. God is not in a rush, but He is always on time. He is not ignoring you. He is preparing you. And while you wait, He is working within you, refining the gold in your spirit, building resilience in your soul, and writing a story that will speak life into others when the time is right. He doesn't promise that the road will be free of pain, but He does promise that He will walk with you through every valley, every mountain, every tear-stained night. He doesn't turn His face from your questions or your doubts. He welcomes them, because He knows that even in your uncertainty, your heart is reaching for Him. And that's what matters most. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. So many people feel like they have to have everything together before they can come to God. But the truth is, He wants you exactly as you are, mess and all. You don't have to be polished or perfect. You just have to be honest. He can work with honesty. He can heal what you reveal. He can strengthen what you surrender. There's nothing about your story that disqualifies you from His love. Nothing. Not your past, not your choices, not even the things you regret most. If anything, those are the very things He wants you to bring to Him. Because when you lay them down at His feet, He begins to replace them with something eternal. Grace for guilt. Peace for fear. Joy for sorrow. The world teaches us to run faster, work harder, carry more, but God gently invites us to slow down, breathe, and simply be. Be still. Be present. Be reminded that He is God, and that He is for you. That's not just a saying. That's a promise. He is for you in the quiet, in the confusion, in the joy, and in the waiting. Even when the prayers go unanswered for a while, even when the healing doesn't come how or when you expect it, even when the days feel long and the nights feel longer, He is there. Every moment is a step toward what He has prepared. And nothing can stop the plans He has for your life, not even your own mistakes. Let go of the fear that tells you it's too late. Let go of the voice that says you missed your chance. As long as you are breathing, God is still moving in your life. He can restore what you thought was gone forever. He can bring laughter to a heart that hasn't felt joy in years. He can open doors you forgot you even knocked on. There is no limit to His mercy, no shortage of His compassion. And He doesn't bless you because you've earned it, He blesses you because He is good. His goodness is not based on your performance. It is based on His promise. And His promises do not fail. You may not understand everything happening around you. The road might feel foggy, the path unclear, the next step uncertain. But you don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to trust the one who sees the whole picture. The one who goes before you. The one who walks beside you. The one who lives within you. You are not lost. You are being led. You are not abandoned. You are being held. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. The place you're standing in right now might feel like the middle of nowhere, but it's actually the middle of God's process. He is planting seeds in this season that will grow into blessings in the next. The waiting is not punishment. It is protection. It is provision. It is positioning. One day, you will look back and see how every delay was grace, how every closed door was mercy, and how every detour led you closer to His heart. One day, you will see it clearly. But for now, just take the next step in faith, knowing that the ground beneath you has already been made firm by His hand. You don't have to worry about the how, the when, or the why. Just know that God is faithful. Always. Even when you doubt, even when you're tired, even when you feel like giving up. His faithfulness is never tied to your feelings. It's tied to His character. And His character never changes. So lift your head. Breathe deeply. You are still chosen. Still loved. Still called. The very breath in your lungs is proof that He's not finished with you. Greater things are coming. The breakthrough is on the way. And when it comes, it will be more than you imagined. Because God never just gives what you expect, He gives beyond. Type 2323 if you agree. There's something sacred about the silence, even when it feels lonely. It's in that stillness that God often begins to soften your heart, to show you what truly matters, to shift your focus from what you lost to what you're about to gain. Silence isn't absence. It's preparation. It's God working behind the curtain while your soul learns to rest in Him, not in the outcome. You may be waiting for answers, for healing, for a door to open, for peace to return to your heart. That waiting may feel like wandering, but it isn't wasted. God never wastes a single moment of your life. Every second you spend trusting Him in the dark is a seed of faith planted into your future, and in His perfect timing, it will bloom into something beautiful. He knows what you need even before you speak it. He sees the nights you cry and the mornings you force a smile. He knows when your heart feels heavy and when you pretend to be strong so others won't worry. And yet, through it all, He still chooses you. Every single day, He chooses to love you with a depth that cannot be measured, even when you feel like you've failed Him. Type Amen if you believe. There is nothing you can do to lose the love of God. There is no mistake too big, no failure too deep, no distance too far that can separate you from the love He freely gives. You may have wondered, questioned, or struggled to believe, but His hand is still reaching for you, gently, patiently, waiting for you to reach back. He is the kind of Father who doesn't walk away when you're weak. He comes closer. He is the kind of Savior who doesn't flinch at your brokenness. He welcomes it. He is the kind of healer who doesn't rush your process. He walks with you through every step of it. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. You don't need to hide the messy parts of your life from Him. He already sees them. And still, He stays. Still, He calls you His. Still, He speaks life over you when all you hear is fear. This world may try to define you by your flaws, your failures, or your past, but God defines you by His love. You are not who the world says you are. You are who He says you are, chosen, redeemed, restored, and deeply loved. Don't let your current season convince you that it will always be this way. This is not the end of your story. God is still writing, still weaving beauty into your pain, still creating miracles in the middle of the mess. Your situation may look impossible, but our God has never been limited by what things look like. He speaks life into dry places. He brings hope to lifeless hearts. He makes a way through what feels like the end. When you think there's nothing left to hold on to, He becomes the rock beneath your feet. Your hope is not foolish. Your faith is not wasted. Every tear you've cried has been seen. Every step you've taken in faith has been counted. And every time you've whispered, God, I trust you, even with a trembling voice, heaven has heard. You don't need to perform to earn His attention. You have it. You don't need to strive to be seen by Him. You are. Right now, as you are, without anything added or removed. His eyes are on you, His heart is for you, and His hands are holding you steady. There are blessings coming that you didn't even pray for. There are answers being formed in heaven that you haven't even thought to ask for. There are doors being prepared that will open when you're ready, not when you're desperate. God is never late. He is always preparing. And when He gives in fullness. You may feel like you're in a season of loss or confusion, but you're actually in a season of becoming. Becoming more patient, more trusting, more surrendered, more open to God's way, not just your own. It hurts sometimes. But that's because real transformation always comes through pressure. God never lets pain go to waste. He turns it into purpose. The very thing that once crushed you will become the testimony that strengthens someone else. You're not just surviving this, you're being shaped by it. And when you come out on the other side, you won't be the same. You'll be stronger, softer, wiser, more compassionate, and more rooted in Him. Keep walking. Even when your steps feel slow. Even when your faith feels fragile. Even when your strength is only enough for one more moment. God sees that effort. And He honors it. This journey you're on is holy. It might not look like what you pictured. It might not feel like what you expected. But it is leading you closer to His heart, deeper into His peace, and higher into your calling. There is light ahead. There is restoration ahead. There is joy ahead that won't be temporary or shallow, but deep and lasting and soaked in the goodness of God. He knows how to restore what you thought was lost. He knows how to rebuild what others tore down. He knows how to redeem even the most shattered parts of your life. Nothing is wasted in His hands. Nothing is too broken for His touch. And nothing is beyond the reach of His love. So rest tonight. Rest in knowing that God is not just watching over you. He is actively caring for you, guiding you, healing you, and loving you in ways you can't always see, but will always feel if you stay still long enough to notice. Type 2020 to claim miracles. Sometimes the hardest part of the journey is not the battles you fight on the outside, but the ones you fight in your heart. The quiet questions that echo in your mind at night, the weight of fear that sits in your chest, the tug of hope pulling against waves of discouragement, all of that is seen by God. He knows how much strength it takes just to keep going, and He never lets that effort go unnoticed. When you feel unseen, God sees you. When you feel unheard, He listens. When you feel forgotten, He reminds you in small, soft ways that He never left your side. Maybe it's a song you needed to hear at the right time. Maybe it's a stranger's kind words. Maybe it's the quiet peace that settles in your spirit when you didn't expect it. That's Him, showing up in the little things to remind you of His love. You don't need to chase approval or be the strongest to be worthy of God's attention. His love isn't based on your ability. It's not measured by how well you perform. It's grounded in grace, pure, unchanging, undeserved grace that wraps around you like a blanket in the cold and reminds you that you are still His child, no matter what. He's not watching you with disappointment. He's watching you with compassion. He knows where you've been and still chooses to walk every step of the way with you. Even when you take detours. Even when you get tired. Even when you question everything. He doesn't pull away, He draws closer. Type 222 if you believe in God's timing. God has not forgotten the promises He made to you. He hasn't changed His mind about you. He's not waiting for you to get everything right before He blesses you. He's waiting for your heart to simply be open, open to receive, open to trust, open to surrender the pain and make space for peace. This life can bruise your heart, and the world may try to harden it. But God calls you to stay soft, to remain hopeful, to keep believing in love and mercy and restoration even when everything around you seems to point the other way. Because faith isn't about ignoring reality, it's about trusting that God can transform it. Even in your tiredness, even in your brokenness, there is purpose. There is something He is doing within you that could never be shaped in comfort. He is creating something eternal through your endurance, through your quiet trust, and through every moment you continue to believe when it would be easier to quit. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. You are stronger than you think, not because of your own strength, but because His strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you come to the end of yourself, that's where His power begins to carry you. And His power never runs dry. You don't need to carry everything. Lay it down. That worry, that fear, that pressure, it's not yours to hold alone. God is not asking you to fix everything. He's asking you to hand it over, to let go of trying to control what only He can change, and to trust that even when you can't see the way forward, He is still leading you. When the door you prayed for remains shut, it's not always rejection. Sometimes, it's protection. Sometimes, it's redirection. And sometimes, it's just not the right time yet. God's delays are never denials. They are pauses filled with purpose. You might be in a season where you're learning to be still. Where nothing is happening the way you planned. Where you feel like you're standing in one place while the world moves around you. But don't mistake that stillness for absence. Stillness is where God often does His deepest work. It's where you learn to hear His voice, to recognize His peace, and to build the kind of trust that doesn't break when the winds rise. Even if no one else understands what you're going through, God does. He understands every layer of your heart, the parts you show and the parts you hide. He knows how long you've been holding it together. He knows the prayers you pray behind closed doors. And He's not letting go of you now. There is beauty coming. There is breakthrough coming. And not because you earned it, but because you belong to a God who gives freely, who restores completely, and who loves endlessly. You will see the goodness of the Lord in your life, not just in the next life, but in this one, too. You will see the days when the pain you're carrying now turns into the joy that fills others. Don't stop praying. Don't stop hoping. Don't stop dreaming. Even if it feels small, even if you feel forgotten, even if the night seems long, morning always comes. Light always returns. And God's promise still stands. Hold on to the truth that your story is not over. Hold on to the truth that no matter how far you've drifted, grace is always the way home. You are not too late. You are not too much. You are exactly where God knew you would be, and He already made a way through it. Let Him walk you through the healing. Let Him carry you when you're tired. Let Him whisper life into the parts of you that have been silent for too long. Because you were never meant to do this alone. You were created for more than survival. You were created for peace, for joy, for purpose, and for love that never runs dry. And that's what He's offering you now, not a life without hardship, but a life where you are never alone in the hardship. Type 1111 if you trust in God. You may be walking through a time where you're not sure what's ahead. The future may feel blurry, your plans may seem like they've fallen apart, and all you want is a sign, a whisper, a word to let you know that it's going to be okay. And even when the answers don't come right away, God still speaks. Not always through thunder, not always through miracles in the sky, but often through the quiet calm that settles over your spirit and reminds you that He is still in control. He sees the worry you hide behind your smile. He sees the pressure that builds in your chest when no one else is around. He understands the ache of wanting things to be different, the longing for change, the need for clarity. And instead of pushing you to do more, He gently invites you to rest, to breathe, and to trust that He is working where you cannot see. There is nothing about your journey that catches God by surprise. Not the heartbreak, not the confusion, not the delays. He has already gone before you. He has already prepared a way, and even if you feel like you're walking through darkness, His light will lead you. Step by step. Day by day. He doesn't ask you to be fearless. He asks you to lean into His strength when yours runs out. He doesn't expect you to never stumble. He simply asks you to reach for His hand when you do. That's what grace looks like. It's not a prize for the perfect. It's a gift for the honest, for those who say, "God, I need you," and mean it. Type yes to affirm. If your heart feels tired right now, if your spirit feels like it's been stretched too thin, know this: God is not disappointed in you. He is proud of you for continuing when everything in you wanted to stop. He is proud of your quiet endurance, of your hidden battles, of your gentle strength. You are not forgotten in this season. You are being shaped. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. That mountain in front of you isn't a wall, it's a reminder that God is about to take you higher than before. And the struggle you feel right now isn't a sign that God is distant. It's often the evidence that He is closer than ever. He's not just building a blessing. He's building you for the blessing. He's preparing your heart to hold what He is going to give. He's softening the places that became hardened by pain, stretching the places that shrank in fear, and healing the parts of you that learned to expect disappointment. Because what He has for you is more than just comfort, it's purpose. It's not just peace for today, but strength for tomorrow. It's not just answers to your prayers, it's a new level of trust, the kind that doesn't waver when things don't go your way. You don't need to understand it all right now. You don't need to know how it will all work out. You just need to trust that the God who brought you this far will not leave you halfway. His goodness didn't stop yesterday, and it won't end tomorrow. Do you know, inside your brain is a small region linked to wealth and success, once buried in restricted research and hidden in CIA files. This newly revealed frequency is helping people replace stress with financial ease, and God has guided you here. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brain wave now. There is something beautiful about surrendering, not as a way of giving up, but as a way of giving in to the one who knows better. When you stop trying to hold it all together and let God hold you instead, you find peace. Not because the storm disappears, but because you found the one who calms the storm inside your heart. He never promised life would be free of trouble, but He did promise that He would never leave you in it. He would never let you face it alone. And even when you walk through fire, He is the fourth one in the flame. Some of the most powerful miracles come quietly. They show up as comfort on a hard day. They arrive as hope in a place that used to feel hopeless. They are felt more than seen, but their impact changes everything. That's the kind of miracle God is working in you right now. It might not look like what you expected, but it will be exactly what your soul needed. You will not stay in this place forever. The fog will lift. The road will clear. The answers will come. And when they do, you'll look back and see that God was never far. In fact, He was carrying you. Your pain has a purpose. Your journey has meaning. Your life is not random. And even if no one else understands the weight you carry, God does. And He will honor every tear, every prayer, every act of faith you've made in secret. The blessings ahead of you are not just for your comfort. They are for your calling. They will position you to help others, to bring light into dark places, to be a testimony of what God can do with a surrendered heart. So keep pressing forward. Not because it's easy, but because He is worth it. Because the life He's leading you to is filled with more peace, more depth, more healing than anything you could have built on your own. Type Amen if you believe. That is not weakness. That is the strength only God gives, the kind that doesn't always roar but still stands in the storm. It's the kind of quiet strength that heaven sees, the kind that moves the heart of God because it's built on trust, not control. You don't need to have it all together for God to move in your life. You just need to be open, honest, and willing to let Him lead. Maybe you've been holding things in for too long, smiling through the weight of silent burdens, trying to carry it all without letting anyone know just how tired your soul feels. But you don't have to pretend with God. He already knows. He knows the parts of your story you've never shared. He knows the thoughts you fight in the quiet. He knows how hard it is for you to keep believing when the answers haven't come. And still, He is right there. Not frustrated with your struggle. Not disappointed in your questions. He's there, holding your heart like it's the most precious thing in the world, because to Him, it is. God is not distant from your pain. He steps into it with you. He sits with you in the silence, walks with you in the confusion, and holds you close in the loneliness. He doesn't ask you to figure it all out. He just asks you to let Him in. Type 555 if you trust Jesus. You may feel like you're at the edge, like you're running out of strength, out of time, out of options. But you are not out of God. And He is never out of ways to make a way. The same hands that parted seas, calmed storms, and raised the dead are holding you now. Not because you're perfect, but because He is. Not because you earned it, but because He's good. There's a healing coming that doesn't just touch your body, it will touch your memories, your mind, your heart. It will go back to the places where your soul was wounded, where fear took root, where hope grew faint. And it will breathe life back into places that felt forgotten. The process may be painful. Growth usually is. But God doesn't allow pain without purpose. He never wastes a wound. Every broken piece, every tear, every unanswered prayer is part of something deeper that He's doing in you. You may not see it yet, but one day, you will. You'll look back and realize that it wasn't the end. It was a turning point. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. And all along, He never stopped holding your heart. There's something beautiful about surrender. Not the kind the world sees as giving up, but the kind where you stop striving, stop fighting for control, and finally say, God, I trust you more than I trust my plans. That kind of surrender brings peace, even when the storm hasn't passed. It brings clarity, even when the answers haven't come. It brings strength, not because you have it all figured out, but because you finally let God take the weight you were never meant to carry. He sees the dream inside of you, the vision you've been holding on to, even when circumstances told you to let go. He knows how many times you've cried over it. He knows how many times you almost gave up on it. And He wants you to know, it's not over. Just because it's been delayed doesn't mean it's denied. Just because you've hit obstacles doesn't mean it's not meant for you. God doesn't tease you with hope. He doesn't place promises in your heart just to leave you empty. If He said it, He will do it. In His way. In His time. And when it happens, it will be better than anything you imagined. You don't have to chase what's already yours in Him. You don't have to compete, compare, or compromise. What God has for you is set aside. No one can take it. No one can cancel it. No one can replace you in the plan He wrote with your name on it. Financial freedom is not about effort, but activating a hidden brain signal once buried in CIA files. Neuroscience shows this sound wave helps attract money and opportunity faster, and thousands are already seeing unexpected income. Click the link in the description and comments now to activate the ancient money wave today. Rest in that. Rest in knowing that even when everything around you feels uncertain, your identity in Christ is unshakable. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not your weakness. You are His. You are His on your best days and your worst. You are His when you feel strong and when you feel lost. You are His when your faith is on fire and when it's only a whisper. And nothing, no failure, no fear, no season of doubt, can change that. So take a deep breath. Let the heaviness fall. Let grace cover what you've been trying to fix. Let peace wrap around the chaos. And let God remind you that He's not finished. The story is still unfolding. And the chapters ahead are filled with joy, with restoration, with laughter you thought you'd never hear again, with doors you thought were closed for good, opening wide with favor. Stay with Him. Keep walking, even if you can't see what's next. Trust that the same God who carried you this far will not drop you now. He's the God of suddenly, of breakthroughs, of quiet moments that change everything. He does not grow tired of you. He doesn't look at your struggle and turn away. Instead, He steps into the room with compassion in His eyes, and peace in His voice, saying, "Let me carry that for you." Because you were never meant to carry it all alone. You were never created to handle the weight of life in your own strength. You were created to walk hand in hand with Him, leaning on His love, depending on His grace, and resting in His presence. You are not weak for needing Him. You are not broken because you're overwhelmed. You are human. And God, in His infinite mercy, delights in being your strength when yours has run out. He rejoices when you turn to Him, not with perfection, but with honesty. There's something so powerful about choosing to trust God, not because everything is going right, but because deep in your soul you believe He's still good, even when things aren't. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith invites miracles. That kind of faith makes the impossible possible. And you may not feel like you have strong faith right now. That's okay. God is not measuring your belief by how loud your prayers are or how confident you appear. He sees the quiet whisper of your heart that says, "I want to trust you." And to Him, that is enough to move. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. Your story is still unfolding. Don't give up in the middle. Don't settle for less just because you're tired of waiting. What God has for you is worth the process. What He's building in you during this time is preparing you for the very thing you've been praying for. You may not understand why the doors didn't open when you knocked, or why the healing didn't come when you asked. But one day, you'll look back and realize that every no protected you, every delay matured you, and every detour led you closer to something greater than what you had in mind. There are no wasted moments in God's plan. He's been with you through every chapter, through the heartbreaks, the quiet victories, the restless nights, and the prayers whispered into darkness. He heard every word. He saw every tear. And not one of them went unnoticed. God's love is not based on conditions. It's not removed when you mess up. It's not reduced when you fall short. His love is constant. It's unwavering. It's fierce. And it's always reaching toward you, even when you're struggling to believe you're worthy of it. You may feel like you've fallen too far, like you've made too many mistakes, like your past disqualifies you from the future He promised. But that's not the voice of God. That's fear. That's shame. That's lies that try to silence the truth of who you are in Him. The truth is, you are still chosen. You are still called. You are still deeply loved. Grace doesn't run out because of what you've done. Mercy doesn't expire when you feel unworthy. God's hand doesn't withdraw when your heart is hurting. He is the Father who runs toward you, not away from you. He is the Savior who stepped into your mess, not to shame you, but to save you. He is the shepherd who leaves the 99 just to come find you, just to bring you back home. And when you let Him love you, even in your brokenness, even in your mess, you'll begin to see yourself differently. You'll start to see glimpses of what He sees, a heart worth fighting for, a soul worth redeeming, a life worth blessing.